Welcome to Algebra 2. We are going to get started with the Unit 9 Lesson 2 notes on negative exponents. So the key idea with negative exponents is that you need to flip the power. Flip the power. So for example, what that means is that if I have x to the negative 2, that's the same thing as me doing 1 over x to the negative 2. So how did I flip it? Well, if you think about it right now, this is really x to the negative 2 over 1. And it's on the top of the fraction. So anything that has a negative exponent, if it's on the top of the fraction, we flip it to the bottom. And if it's on the bottom, we'd flip it to the top. So for example here, let's say I have a to the negative third over b to the negative second. Well, both of these powers have a negative exponent, so I'm going to flip them. So that would give me, I'm going to bring b up to the top, and it's going to become positive, and I'm going to bring a to the bottom, and that is going to become positive. So let's simplify these expressions. 1 cup is 2 to the negative 4th gallons. So 2 to the negative 4th really means that I have 1 over 2 to the 4th. Now we can keep simplifying this because we can actually figure out what 2 to the 4th is. And remember, 2 to the 4th means I'm going to do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. So 1 cup is 1/16 of a gallon, and that would be my final answer. A sandfly may have a wingspan of 5 to the negative 3 meters. Well, 5 to the negative 3 is equal to 1 over 5 cubed. 5 cubed means 5 times 5 times 5, which gives me 1 over 125. All right, let's try another one. Example 3 has negative 2 to the negative third. Now, when we flip, only the exponent becomes positive. So what I mean by that is our base is a negative number. That's going to stay negative even after we flip it. So this is going to become 1 over negative 2 cubed. Negative 2 cubed means I'm going to have negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which gives us 1 over negative 8. All right. Example 4 brings us to another important rule that you need to remember. 7 to the 0 is equal to 1. And in fact, anything to the power of 0 equals 1. And that's an important rule that you are going to have to remember moving forward about exponents. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. All right, let's try evaluating some expressions. Evaluate means that I'm going to plug in the values for the exponent. So we have p to the negative third, but we're told that p is equal to 4. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4 to the negative third. Now, since it has a negative exponent, I'm going to write it as 1 over 4 to the third. And 4 to the third means I'm going to do 4 times 4 times 4, which means I have 1 over 64. All right, let's try example 6. 8, a to the negative 2, b to the 0. And we know that a is negative 2 and b is 6. So I'm going to replace a with negative 2 and b with 6. My 6 kind of looks like a b anyway. Okay, Now, this is really important. Not everything is going to flip. Only the things that have a negative exponent. So, does 8 have a negative exponent? No. -2 has a negative exponent? Yes. 6 has a negative exponent? No. So the only thing that's going to flip is the -2. 8 is going to stay where it is on the top. 6 is going to stay where it is on the top. And the -2 is going to move to the denominator where its exponent will become positive. Okay, let's continue to simplify this here. I'm going to have 8 times 6 to the 0 is 1. -2 squared means I'm going to do -2 times -2, which is 4. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 over 4 is 2. All right, let's try a few more examples. 7 times w to the -4. Again, only the things that have a negative exponent are going to flip. I like to circle them. The w is the only thing that has a negative exponent. So the 7 is going to stay where it is. W to the 4th moves to the bottom. And that's all we can do. We want to rewrite it so that it has no negative exponents. All right, let's try this one. -5 is a negative number, but it's not a negative exponent, so I'm not going to circle it. K to the -2, yes, that is a negative exponent. Since it's on the bottom, it's going to flip up to the top and leave me with -5k squared. All right, example 9. Again, look at what has a negative exponent. Only the h. That's going to flip up to the top. G to the 4, h to the 6th. Again, let's circle what has a negative exponent. The only thing that has a negative exponent is the m. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2r to the 0 over m cubed. Now I can continue to simplify this because r to the 0 equals 1, because anything to the power of 0 equals 1. So really, on the top, all I have is 2 times 1, which is just 2. So I'm left with 2 over m cubed. All right. I'd like you to pause the video and try example 11 on your own. So pause the video, try example 11, and then check your work in a minute. All right, so the only thing that has a negative exponent is the p. So that is going to flip to the bottom. 3e squared is going to stay where it is on the top of the fraction. Okay. Woo! Excuse me. One last example. Let's circle everything that has a negative exponent. B has a negative exponent, and C has a negative exponent. That's going to move down, and C is going to move up. A and D are going to stay where they are. So I have a to the 0 and c cubed now on the top. Then I have d to the 6th and b squared on the bottom. And again, one last thing I can do, a to the 0 is really 1. And I don't need to write 1c squared or c cubed. I can just write c cubed. So that right there is going to be my final simplified answer. All right, that is it for the notes on negative exponents. We'll see you for the next video.